the invincibility of the BJP, number one. Number two, yes, I concede and I understand, being a conservative pollster, this is probably the starting block of BJP and the NDA. And majority of our polling was happened before the Ayodhya Pran Pratishtha. That impact has to come in, and with the way they are looking out for alliance partners and the way they are going about it, this can only go up. Having said that, if you will ask me if there is any, I don't see a black swan because nobody can predict a black swan, but one red flag, that is the complacency factor. You know, complacency factor was the factor which caused them.
Are they looking complacent to you?
No, they are not. But what 2004 urban areas, the turnout dropped by 18%, and that caused the BJP.
Modi is no Vajpayee.
That's precisely what I was trying to say. They have learned their lessons pretty hard, and neither Modi is Vajpayee, nor Mr. Bhagwat is Mr. Sudarshan.
Sure.
Both the factors are remaining.
Can I give you a very interesting anecdote? Just this morning, I was told by an MP, you know, Parliament has been extended by a day. The BJP is going to put out a white paper on what the Congress did over 10 years. क्या जरूरत है अगर 300 सीट मिल रहे हैं? What to put white paper? लगता है desperate है. मैंने कहा desperate नहीं है. They want to take that 320, 330 that the mood of the nation is good, because he wanted to know the numbers. 320, 330 to 370, 375. एक दिन भी नहीं छोड़ना है Parliament का. If we can get an extra Saturday in, where all the TV channels for 7-8 hours will talk about this white paper, keep the mahal going. So there is no complacency. On the other hand, it's like a team which has scored 350 runs is sure to win. But things, yeah, last 10 overs, no, all 100 run करके 450 जाते हैं.
Amitabh Tiwari, look at how this 400 par is seeping into the psyche of the opposition. The Congress guests we had today, even Kharge ji in Parliament, they are referring to 400 par. They should be dissing the idea of It's like you have the most, forget ideology for a moment, you have the most competent practitioner of the political craft up against the most inept practitioners of politics.
I think
in the Congress.
You are right.
That is why when you have them go head to head.
What Mr. Modi did, what Modi did, sorry, Raj, just
a quick point. I think one, when you look at what he's done in terms of 370 and 400 for the NDA, he's addressing what the concerns Yashwant was talking about. He has pushed the bar even further, higher and better. So, and today you feel he's getting 303 and we, you know, he shouldn't be getting 400.
No, but you heard what Rashid said. The second Congress will be happy with this.
The second point I would like to make. Ek chota se point.
Yes.
Rashid.
See, the Congress thinks that if India Today and Yashwant Deshmukh are saying 71, it means Congress is well past 100 seats.
That's how they're thinking.
Yeah.
No, I just have a quick addition to this one. You were asking about who else would you go. I think Mr. Modi is in a league of his own. And
internationally.
Internationally, yes. And see, we are the world's largest democracy. I think we have produced great leaders.
Precisely.
You may not agree with Nehru or what he did. Come at the hour, it was Nehru. Come at the hour, this time, it was Modi. And I think we must, in many sense, commend that rather than bring comparisons Indira Gandhi.
No, okay, so Nehru is one comparison. I'm saying go internationally, Raj, with all the expertise and experience.
You see, there, you could get other kinds of leaders who had just held on to power.
In the recent power, probably
you can't have any comparison with American presidents because they have to give up their terms in two terms. You might end up with the Putin, Erdogan, and all those. These are not the kind of leaders you'd like to match this. You know, or even Xi Jinping, the other side, right? He's also there, but of course a completely different system. So if you really look in terms of democratic nations, as I said, he's in a league of his own. I don't think we need to bring comparisons. Here's a person, as Rajdeep described, we had talked of leadership. We have to appreciate that. May like him, may not like him. There is something about him that is, you know, converted a nation of 1.6.
I think, again, I completely agree with Raj, and just to add to him, see, what sets Modi apart from everyone, that, see, Nehru inherited a party and an organization. Modi also inherited. But BJP was not present in many parts of India as a strong force. What Modi has done in these 10 years has put the party on map in eastern India. In many states where they were in single digit are now running governments, right? So what he has done electorally has basically created that machine which was there, maybe using all kinds of things. But now BJP is a very, very formidable and unparalleled election machine in contemporary politics across the globe. I think that is one of his biggest
across the globe.
Yeah, you know, can I add two more M's? Interesting. One is middle class. I remember Arun Jaitley telling me this 10 years. He says, as India becomes more and more middle-class country, he believed that the BJP was there at the right place, right tap, to capture on the energies of this middle class. I believe post-1991, ironically, the Congress party didn't capitalize on the zeitgeist of this new India. They went in the other direction when they should have actually taken credit for Manmohanomics, built this middle class constituency. Look at across urban India, and as India gets more and more urbanized, look at BJP's performance across urban areas. Mr. Modi is popular in both rural and urban. We forget the Labharti scheme and the impact that has had, direct benefit transfer, using it to put money in people's hands. But I think middle class has become a core constituency of the BJP, and they've built around that. And whether we like it or not, it may be the elephant in the room to some majoritarianism. Particularly in North India, there is a sense of a Hindu majority. The point you made, a new republic, somewhere it's the Hindu assertion. That also is a major factor. When I add Labharti and Hindu assertion, I don't think you can win an election.
But which government in the past, Rajdeep, has spoken of making India a developed country and set a timeline for it?
Sure.
And actually then mobilize the will and try to build the circumstances which allow us to move in that direction. This is the only other government that I know.
Rahul, there I want to only put one small caveat, which is there are areas of darkness in this country. Let's be honest. Whether it's the ethnic
but there are areas of darkness in the United States. There are areas of darkness in Europe.
Rahul, just as I believe the middle class has arrived, unemployment is a serious crisis. It's going to get worse in the era of automation. Education systems will not be able to match what the new market needs. I just think, let's not say that we've reached there.
No,
Mr. Modi is offering a dream. Mr. Modi is offering a dream.
And making the effort to achieve that dream.
He's offering a dream.
He's offering a vision, and he's making the effort to take us in that direction. So it's not as if he's sitting on his laurels.
But then tell me why. Aspiration is not just middle class, Rajdeep. Middle class is like 50 shades of grey. Anybody who is not in BPL family is a middle class. Okay. So from lower middle class to middle class to the higher middle class, it's an aspirational class. And he is a person who is showing a vision and a dream that, okay, you are maybe suffering, but what the India which I'm trying to make will be a great India for your kids, your grandchildren. And he's working towards that.
But then tell me, if this was also perfect, the double engine, as we saw in certain states, doesn't work. I think India is too complicated to reduce it to, Modi's captured the attention of all of India in every election.
That's why
he's captured it in a presidential style. In elections, increasingly are presidential at the national level. Mera leader kaun hoga? Mera prime minister kaun hoga? Mr. Modi, with his consummate abilities as a communicator, and the point I keep making, Rahul, which Prashant Kishore also now makes, Mr. Modi's been around 50 years in politics. He's seen various, these black swan events, you're able to conquer sometimes through your past experience. It's like a journalist. If you've been 40 years, we can do live program. Pehle saal, it was a struggle. Mr. Modi's been there. He's done the hard yards. Let's give him credit.
He's been in power since 2002.
He's been in power for 22 years, and that gives him experience of hand. On the other side,
he's become elite.
You've got regional leaders who've been stuck in their states. I think one of Mr. Modi's major achievements is from Gujarat Chief Minister. When he became Gujarat Chief Minister, we thought, ye kaise banega, RSS ka aadmi hai, has no experience in governance. When he becomes Prime Minister, we said, yeah, Prime Minister kaise banega?
You said.
Look, no, one minute. I will say this, and I have proof. Mr. Javed Akhtar at a dinner in 2012, 1 week after Modi won Gujarat a third time, he said, yaar, kya lagta hai, Modi ji aayenge center pe? To maine kaha, hai, I think Modi ji will come to the center. I think he will win the elections. 2012 December, before he tilted. He said, nahi, he is haunted by 2002, nahi ho sakta hai. I said, sir, there comes a time when a person can sort of go beyond his sort of past to the future. So I will not take that, but I will say this, that he surprised people. I would certainly.
And he continues to surprise people.
He continues to
surprise the same people who never cease to be surprised. But that's a different matter.
That's a good line. That's a good line.
No, but it's true. It's true.
That's true. The thing is that, see, the matter of fact is that he works hard. And I think pretty much, and I've said this to Raj, that, as one of my physics professors, he never used to give us marks on the final answer of the numericals. He used to give us the marks on what did we attempt. Dimag lagaya ki nahi lagaya, koshish ki nahi ki. I think Indian voters are coming to an age where they want to see the leaders make an effort. If you make an effort, they are even willing to own up your failures. See how people have owned up his demonetization failure.
Okay.
People, majority of them say, galat tha, lekin sahi niyat se kiya.
Okay. Now, so we are out of time. We are out of time. We need to finish.
There are two politicians which are fascinating in that sense, using this effort point. One is Mr. Modi, one in a very different way, Naveen Patnaik.
Yeah.
25 years, never lost, and you ask people, nahi sir, koshish kar raha hai. You see, Indian voters, he's right, want to reward well-intentioned.
Okay, so we are out of time. We need to wrap up.
No,
Rajdeep?
Rahul, just one little
Yes.
point. I think it's more than just try. Modi delivers. He has demonstrated that on time also. Whether it is building a parliament building, getting things done, he
No,
made
and
sure.
also
That is the culture change
And
that is
also
happening.
remember that at the end of 10 years, Dr. Manmohan Singh, with no disrespect to him, was completely tired. The government was just coming apart. Even Vajpayee ji, at the end of his 6 years, was very tired. He had to say, "Na tired, na retired." But the government wasn't energetic. Prime Minister Modi continues to stay as energetic, as pumped up. Where people around, and I've seen younger officers, much younger than him, and at New York, at the yoga day, I asked one young officer in his team, "Arey, tum kyun nahi kar rahe?" "Arey, nahi, unme zyada energy, hum mein kam." So, that's like people half his age. Okay, so Rajdeep, before we wrap up, if you were Modi, what song would you be singing tonight?
What's that song that Shah Rukh Khan had? Number one.
I don't expect me to know.
What is
Does
the
anybody
song?
else know? Batao,
I'm the best. I'm the
Achha,
best.
I'm the best.
I'm the best. Koi hero yahan, koi zero yahan. I'm the best. Look,
If you're Rahul Gandhi, what song are you singing tonight?
you're putting me in trouble because
Gana
you want...
batao.
Ye kya hua? Kab hua? Kaise hua? Look, there are lots of songs. But look, seriously, I hope for the
Rashid
sake...
has another song.
Can I though say something? For the sake of
You have
Indian...
one. Okay, Amitabh Tiwari, 1 second. If you
अपना
are...
टाइम आएगा
हाँ, आएगा, भाई.
Yeah, that's
अरे भाई एडवाइजर्स बता रहे हैं उसको यही अपना टाइम आएगा
Rahul, he sounding like Yudhendra Yadav.
Look, let's not rule out
He's sounding
anything.
like Yudhendra Yadav.
Who? He is saying Rahul Gandhi thinks अपना time आएगा.
नहीं, Rahul Gandhi is being advised कि साहब आपका टाइम आएगा.
Look,
24
I hope for our sake of our democratic process and indeed for our television coverage, we have an exciting election. I hope that this mood of the nation doesn't result in most people believing up kyun dekhna hai.
No.
Jeetna to hai.
But
I hope we have a
Is
contest.
that the reason he has given the Shagufa of 360, 370 and 400? Because he might be feeling, Rajdeep bore ho raha hoga. Kuch naya do.
We're out of time.
Something to...
If you look at the numbers across social media, across digital, across television over the past 4 hours of programming, I can see that there is interest. So Rajdeep may be feeling slightly, there's no fun over here. There's a lot of excitement, buzz around the India story, a lot of excitement about the Bharat of the future and around these poll numbers as well. I think that will continue through. So I think Rajdeep's earned his dinner, sung for his supper.
Sung for my supper, India has been modified, it appears, as per the mood of the nation. We'll wait and see what the voter really wants. This was simply a teaser to what might be lying
So
ahead.
day 2 tomorrow. A lot of detail on impact of Ayodhya, the impact of Nitish Kumar switching in Bihar, the performance report card of the Prime Minister, his government, the opposition, all that and more coming up in part 2 of the India Today Mood of the Nation all through the day tomorrow. So we'll see you again.
Hello and welcome. You're with the India Today Mood of the Nation biannual survey brought to you in partnership with C Voter, which has done this comprehensive nationwide survey at a time when all eyes are on the big question: who will win the general elections of 2024? That's the question that we're going to answer in a detailed manner this time, but not just the big picture. We'll be going state by state to bring you all the results you've been waiting for.
This is the last Mood of the Nation opinion poll before the general elections of 2024, which is what makes this that much more important, and so much rides on the results of this Mood of the Nation opinion poll. Let's introduce you to our guests who are going to join us over the next several hours as we bring you the results of the Mood of the Nation poll. I want to start by introducing Yashwant Deshmukh, lead cephalogist at C Voter. He's got this fancy Himachali cap on and has been working very hard over the last several weeks, and lots of changes, Rajdeep, in the chess drawing board, forcing revisions in the MOTN sample. So he's really been working doubly hard, not just because of us, but also because of all the changes that
And there could be more changes within the next month. You know, change is the only constant.
Next month or tonight, tomorrow, there could
Who
be
knows?
changes galore, and therefore we'll have to keep looking at these numbers very carefully. Flanking him is Raj Chingappa, editorial director at India Today magazine. He and his team have worked on compiling and dissecting the results of this poll, and you can read the analysis in the new issue of the magazine, which is out in stands now. We've got Amitabh Tiwari, who's joining us, political analyst, and to our left we've got Rahul Verma. Rashid Kidwai joins us, and we got Sanjay Kumar from CSDS. So this is really as sharp a political panel as can be, and I'm discounting myself. And no, I'm keeping Rajdeep there, discounting myself, but a very sharp panel on this. So what we'll do for a moment is take you through the methodology adopted by C Voter for this poll, and then we'll go state by state in getting you the results of this poll. So this Mood of the Nation opinion poll was done between the 15th of December and the 28th of January. Largely, some polling happened later when there were specific changes like there were in Bihar, but largely between the 15th of December and the 28th of January. For this poll, the sample size was 35,801. But C Voter, as our viewers know by now, has a continuing tracker sample. So that adds 1,13,000 interviews to the Mood of the Nation sample, giving us a robust sample size of 1,49,000 for this sample and the tracker that's been going on between the 15th of August and the 31st of January. So there's a 3% plus minus margin of error at the micro level, and Yashwant claims he has a 95% confidence level. So that said, Rajdeep, let's now dive straight into the numbers for Uttar Pradesh.
Okay, let's go state by state, and we are starting with the state of Uttar Pradesh, because remember, generally it's believed all roads to Delhi lead through Lucknow. That certainly to some extent has been the case in 2014 and 19, given the domination that the BJP has had in the Hindi heartland. But let's take a look at what the Mood of the Nation poll is saying. First, let's take a look at vote share, because vote share will give you a sense of where the parties stand. And what we are predicting at the moment is a 52% vote share for the NDA, which means that the NDA is actually up from last time. They're even higher than they were in 2019 when they did remarkably well in that election. The India Alliance, and presumably this India Alliance includes the Congress, the SP and the RLD as of now. The RLD could well switch sides. Therefore, at the moment, they're at 36%, up 10% last time, but they have lost the BSP, which was in 2019 with the Samajwadi Party, and others 12%, primarily the Bahujan Samaj Party. But the key thing is, how does this translate into seats? That's the difficult task that Yashwant has undertaken. The seats, what would the seats be in the 80-member UP Assembly? And just take a look at that. The NDA goes up from 64 to 72 out of 80. It's a gain of 8. So NDA, BJP holding rock solid in the saffron heartland in a way. The India Alliance 6 to 8, so only a marginal increase, and that's divided between 1 for the Congress and 7 for the Samajwadi Party. Others are completely wiped out. The 10 last time were the BSP. So Rahul, the first big numbers clearly show the BJP holding its own in what's become its bastion.
And if the BJP is already at 72 in the way the state plays right now, Yashwant, the most important question is, now that RLD is very clearly in talks with the BJP, if Jayant Chaudhary was to join the NDA, where could that 72 reach?
Well, I mean, of course, it will impact minimum number of 2 seats for sure. But it's not just about how many seats that RLD is contesting and they are likely to win. It's also about the overall impact of the Jat voter consolidation in the entire Western UP, and not just Western UP, but across in other states which have a significant number of Jat voters. So that, having said that, Rahul, let me be upfront about this one. And me and Raj discussed this so many times about the numbers of the seats and everything. You know, I am a conservative pollster, and I find it very difficult to tell people that, you know, why are these others or other NDA numbers or non-NDA numbers coming up even when you have NDA or BJP crossing 50% of vote? That is simply because of the probability. When you say any party is there in that particular region, even if you cross 0 to 1, in UP with 6 regions, you end up with 0 to 6 kind of range. So it's also a question of probability. Otherwise, this number with this kind of a vote share could end up anywhere.
So you're saying it could be 80 also?
I will not say it cannot happen.
No, because he's sitting on 72 and he says, I'm conservative.
No, it is a possibility. You know, it can't be ruled out. But let's, you know, we are T20 style today. So I'm going to ask all our panelists quick responses because we are going through the entire country. Raj Chenkappa, Uttar Pradesh, as I said, the road to Delhi reads through Lucknow. If this is the result of Lucknow, clearly the keys to Delhi are in the hands of Prime Minister Modi.
No doubt Uttar Pradesh is the bellwether state, and if it is showing the kind of results that the India Today C voter poll is showing, the BJP is on its way. I would only like to point out a little bit of history because the Prime Minister Modi had said he'd want to win 405 seats and for the BJP 370 seats. So if you look back, the only person who did that was Rajiv Gandhi, who won 405, and of course subsequently it became 414 when Assam and Punjab were added on. And at that time in UP, that was the undivided UP, I think the Congress won 82 out of 85 seats. That was a sweep. Now, if we are going by these figures, and they've touched 50%, I'm sure the other pollsters would say that the BJP would require to max in Uttar Pradesh if it has to get its target of 370 that it wants.
Remember, those two elections are very different, Amitabh Tiwari, because the 84 election was held in the aftermath of the assassination of then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. It was an election won largely on the back of sympathy. Here is Prime Minister Modi, who's been in power for 10 times. This is not a empathy, sympathy vote. This is a performance vote. If you end up 72, or if Yashwant says could be even higher, that would be the most incredible performance imaginable.
Yeah, so if these numbers hold true, if you see whatever is BSP's loss of 10 seats is largely accruing into the tally of the BJP. BJP is gaining 10 seats at the expense of BSP. So if these numbers hold true, then what is clearly being shown is that it is largely a pro-incumbency vote. It is a pro-Modi vote, it's a pro-development vote, it's a pro-vote for his policies and the way he has handled the economy.
But are you surprised because Rahul Verma, Uttar Pradesh was for a long time, for about 30 years, completely fragmented. Now suddenly, since 2014, the BJP has come to dominate the state, 2 general elections, 2 assembly elections, and now you could have a 3rd general election. Is the BJP therefore entering into UP, much like it was in Gujarat, a completely dominant party, 50% more, 50% vote and more, suggests a dominant state?
Absolutely, Rajdeep. One reason for fragmentation in the 90s and early 2000s was that there were at least 4 credible players that were present. BJP, Congress, SP and BSP, the regional parties were very, very strong. Over a period of time, Congress declined and also BSP declined. So why Yashwant is saying that the numbers are conservative? Because this time BSP is moving out and they are still holding on to 10% or some vote share there, which means that actually the numbers could be much more than 75, even touching 70.
No, but here's the thing. It reflects the continuing trend of elections becoming bipolar. Remember, the BSP, according to Yashwant's analysis, is projected to come down from 19% vote share last time to 8% this time. That's 11% down. And this is a party which in 2007 had won 200 plus seats. So that just shows how the BSP has ceded ground to now become a rump. 8% Sanjay Kumar for the once mighty BSP just shows that for time to come, elections in UP will be BJP on the one side and Samajwadi Party on the other, with a much weaker Samajwadi Party against a much stronger BJP.
Rahul, we need to understand why elections are becoming bipolar not only in UP but in Bihar and many other states. Because I get a sense that the entire election now is being contested in the name of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I don't see this election as a contest between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi or Narendra Modi versus any other leader. It is a referendum on how do you rate the performance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So people are divided on 2 axes, pro-Modi, anti-Modi. And you see the election becoming bipolar on this, not on the issues, but largely on this factor. If you are on pro-Modi side, you tend to align, your party tend to align with NDA. And if you are anti-Modi, you tend to align with the UPA or if you're not able to align with the UPA, then you go alone. But that is what is happening in UP.
But where does this lead, therefore, the India alliance, Rashid Kidwai? Because you've got a situation where you are tying up with the Congress and Samajwadi Party tying up. We still don't know how the seat distribution will take place. But when they look at these numbers, there'll be a sense of hopelessness almost, particularly if Jayant Chaudhary also leaves the alliance. Even if Mayawati, was to come on their side, which seems unlikely in a few weeks' time, either way, India alliance is starting this race with one hand tied behind its back.
Yes, Sajid, there is a total sense of despondency, but I still think Mayawati is the biggest insurance policy that BJP has in Uttar Pradesh. Imagine this 8-10% vote going to India Alliance would have made material difference. And second thing is how many Gandhis, three Gandhis, Rahul, Sonia and Priyanka, how many of them are going to be in fray? Because unless they contest, and same applies to Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav and Dimple Yadav and all those people, credible people.
So what's your sense? Will any of the Gandhis contest now?
I think they are looking for Rajya Sabha route. At least one of them will get into Rajya Sabha.
No, but I don't agree with Rashid Kidwai. He says BSP joining the India Alliance makes a difference. Even if I add 36 and 8, that's 44. Up against 51 for 52 for the NDA, it still leaves them 6 short.
No, but
so even if there is perfect transfer of votes, even if there is perfect transfer of votes, which we saw in the last elections when they were both stronger in the BJP, not as strong, it still didn't make a difference.
Look, Rahul, BJP is the dominant party of UP. There's no doubt about that. And all the other parties are basically trying to compete for that same anti-BJP vote that exists. So even if they come together, they're actually only consolidating the anti-BJP vote. The BJP vote itself, once it's crossing 50%, even if it was 48% tomorrow, they would still be well over 60 as they were in 2019. So I think...
Rahul, we are not factoring in the Ram Lahar, which is there. There is a lot of... Why people are shifting? Because they think that there is going to be a huge, consolidation in favor of BJP in Uttar Pradesh. And
now,
that explains
Salman, so this was a cricket match and the BJP ends up 72 out of 80 in the first state. And the projection across our table of really sharp political minds is that it could actually even be more. Then, the Congress and the India Alliance are out of the race even before the race has begun. Shehzad can say, okay, thank you very much. I don't need to do the talking. Modi is doing the talking for me.
Rahul, no game is over till it is totally over. So I know this is a very disappointing save for the India Alliance. But I must say that despite all the advantages that the Prime Minister and Amit Shah and BJP have built up over these 10 years or so, they're still pretty much at 50%. The opposition has not been able to come together as we need to defeat this power so far. But the election is not over. The election is going to be contested in UP and all over the place. And by the way, I know you people said something about the performance. This is a performance election. If this is a performance election, I want to ask you. I want to ask the people of UP, for example, that until 2014, UP's economy was larger than Tamil Nadu's economy. Now, 10 years later, and most of that is under, all of it is under Prime Minister Modi, and most of it is under Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Why is the UP economy now smaller than the Tamil Nadu economy? What has changed? Now, at the national level,
we are doing a T20 style analysis, so we want 1 point at a time. You made your point. Let Shehzad Poonawala now respond. Shehzad, the fact is that UP is seen now as a dominant party state. Do you give credit to the Modi factor, the Upyogi factor, a combination of both, the fact that the double engine there seems to be really working at the moment?
Rajdeep, I give credit to 3 factors and let me complete my answer. 1 is Ram Lala, 2 is Geeta and 3 is PD, and let me complete. Ram Lala means Rashtriya Suraksha, Mahila, Labharti, Leadership and Arthvyavastha. Geeta means growth, information, innovation, infrastructure, technology and Atmanirbhar Bharat. And PDA means performance, delivery and aspiration. Today, Rajdeep, Modi ji and Yogi ji have converted the vocabulary of people like you from anti-incumbency to pro-incumbency, where even the most critical cynics like Yogendra Yadav and Rajdeep Sardesai in the Democratic newsroom also have to say that BJP ko सबसे ज्यादा नंबर मिलेंगे ही. This kind of conversion happens when time after time the people see the leadership and the performance of the party on the ground and overall, because we have a mission and a vision. We are not people of commission, corruption, ambition and family profession, and therefore I give credit to Ram Lalla, Geeta and PDA.
You know, I love his acronyms. He's going to go very far in politics, given those acronyms. Mr. Modi has clearly got a few bucks in the party who know how to use acronyms rather well.
What I want to do now is play out a small excerpt from a show we had earlier today from Lucknow, where we spoke to voices on the ground, trying to get a sense of the pulse in Uttar Pradesh. So here are some excerpts from the Mood of the Nation poll from Uttar Pradesh from earlier today.
Joining you from the city of Lucknow, and once again, if political cliches could hold true, nothing.
विपक्ष की जल गई है एकता की रस्सी, इसलिए भाजपा यूपी में जीतेगी 80 में 80।
मुझे लगता है यहाँ पर बैठ के लच्छेदार बातें करना और थोड़ी बहुत शेरो शायरी कर लेना एक चीज है। आप धरातल पर आके असलियत देख लीजिए।
हम पूरे विश्वास के साथ कह रहे हैं कि कांग्रेस पार्टी का उत्तर प्रदेश में खाता नहीं खुलने देंगे।
युवा चाहता है रोजगार, और रोजगार के नाम पर आप कहते हैं पकौड़े तल लो।
केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी है जो बढ़ती हुई दिखाई दे रही है, बाकी सारे राजनीतिक दल आपको गिरते हुए दिखाई दे रहे हैं।
आप सबके अकाउंट में 15 लाख आ गए, 2 करोड़ बेरोजगार मिल गया, नहीं मिला।
और जब अलायंस करना था ना, तब राहुल जी के प्रोजेक्शन के लिए उनकी एक यात्रा प्लान कर दी गई, और जहाँ-जहाँ चरण पड़े राहुल के ताता बंटाधार हुआ। जैसे-जैसे यात्रा प्रारंभ हुई, एक-एक करके अलायंस लगातार छूटते जा रहे हैं।
Shouldn't the India Alliance actually look at bringing in Mayawati, because the 8% vote share could also, she might not win a single seat.
As far as Behan Mayawati is concerned, I think it's really up to her what she would want to do.
370 हम कह रहे हैं क्योंकि 370 हमने हटाई है।
I want to come now to the state of Punjab, and just keep in mind that the numbers that you're about to see assume that the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress will find a way of fighting together. But this is a state where AAP and Congress are 1 and 2, and whenever two parties are 1 and 2, they typically find it very difficult to be able to distribute seats amongst themselves. Between 2 and 3, it's much easier than it is between parties that are 1 and 2. But since that's the way it is seeming on the surface, that's the calculation that we're about to show you. So here are the numbers for Punjab. I'm going to start by taking a look at the vote share numbers first. The BJP had 10% vote share in the previous Lok Sabha elections. That's now projected to go up to 17. That's 7% up. The Aam Aadmi Party had 7% vote share in the last Lok Sabha elections. That's now projected to go up to 27. That's 20% up from the last time. The Congress had 40% vote share in the last elections. That's now projected to come down to 38. That's 2% down from the last time. The Akalis had 28% vote share. That's now projected to come down to 14, a loss of 14% for the once formidable Akalis. Let's take a look at how this converts into seats. So on your screen right now, for the 13 seats of Punjab, here are the C-Voter India Today Mood of the Nation projections. C-Voters projecting that the BJP is likely to stay at 2 seats. They're likely to stay at 2. What's gone out from the NDA kitty there are the Akali seats. The AAP is expected to be at 5 seats. That's up 4 from the last time if we see the party-wise breakup of these seats. The Akalis were at 2. That's likely to come down to 1. So the BJP holds on to its 2 seats. The AAP goes up from 1 to 5. Remember, in the first election they fought in 2014, they had 4 seats. So they go up to 5 this time. The Congress at 5. They were 8 last time, so they're down 3. And the Akalis are at 1, down 2. Now, what could change potentially, Yashwant, is if at the last moment the Akalis and the BJP are able to tie, because behind the scenes there's a lot happening. It's not firm, finalized, both sides haven't decided. The Akalis we know are keen, the BJP is 50-50, wishy-washy, but that can change anytime. And if that changes, how does that potentially change these numbers?
Of course, I mean, that would be having some impact for sure, because I guess that between the Akalis and the BJP, even though there has been quite a lot of bad in the recent years, as far as the core voting is concerned, they are pretty much supplementary in nature. The core has been anti-Congress vote. at large, which the Akalis and the BJPs have been tending together. So this separation might have split it vertically because BJP ran away with the Hindu votes and Akalis were with their Panthik votes. But if they come together, definitely that will have an impact. But it will not be the same kind of seat sharing, Rajdeep, that is for sure. Because wherever BJP is going back with their old allies, the seat sharing equation is no more the same, which was defined by Vajpayee and Advani.
But you know, this is a fascinating state, Raj Chengappa, because the alliances have changed dramatically in the last few years. The BJP and the Akalis were together. AAP versus Congress was the battle of Punjab. They've now come together. They may not have chemistry on the ground. Do you really believe that this AAP-Congress alliance will work in the end and actually see the arithmetic benefits that this poll is suggesting? Or do you believe in the end it'll be very difficult for AAP and Congress to actually fight Punjab together, which may be another twist to these numbers?
It's my favorite state since I was there as editor-in-chief of the Tribune. But I think here, let's take Sanjay's argument of brand Modi and a referendum of that. How much of that is going to play out in Punjab? It never happened when Rajiv Gandhi, it was a very troubled state, of course, at that particular time. So the Congress never benefited at that time because of the wave that happened. So if you look at it currently, if the AAP and the Congress get together, they're a decisive force. Have they got together? Have they agreed on anything? That is not to be seen as yet.
No, but can I counter what you're saying to say that it's almost impossible? How will you decide if you're 1 and 2 in that state? On a drawing board, you can say whatever you want. Given the problems in Uttar Pradesh, given the problems in Bihar, it is very difficult. In Delhi, they may still have some kind of an arrangement. In Punjab, they'll ultimately come to the conclusion that it's better for us to fight separately.
No, they may well do that, Rahul. They actually seem to believe that that might even work to their favor. That, you have a multi-corner.
No, so I'm saying then the premise of the poll for Punjab is flawed because it hypothetically assumes that they're fighting together.
Yeah, sure. But the one thing about Punjab, to take from what Raj Chengappa said, and that's the fascinating part of Punjab, Sanjay Kumar, it's the one state in North India where the Modi wave has not worked both in 2014 and 19. Look at both these elections. The Congress, if there's one state in northern India, held its own in the last 10 years, it's Punjab. You think the politics of Punjab, therefore, is very distinct and different from the rest of the country in a way?
Two factors. Even though the political clout of Shiromani Akali Dal has come down, but look at the states where regional parties are strong. BJP has not found it easy to make inroads. That's one case why in Punjab BJP has not been able to make inroads. Second, BJP has been contesting in Punjab in alliance with Akalis. So Akalis have been a dominant player. That was a difficulty in the Bihar also for the first couple of decades. Also, look at the social composition of Punjab. In Punjab, we have a very large majority of Sikh voters. So if you look at BJP's popularity, Narendra Modi's popularity, there is some difference if you look at among the Hindus and people belonging to different other religions. That is another factor why BJP has not been able to penetrate in Punjab the way they have been able to expand in other parts of the
India. But the calculation in the BJP and Shehzad can build on this. I'll also show you the projection for Chandigarh, which is expected to go to the BJP. It's an urban pocket, and we saw the mess in the mayoral elections recently, but the poll is predicting that Chandigarh goes to the BJP. The problem is both the Home Minister and the Prime Minister have often say that they're very emotionally invested in the Punjab story. And yet on the ground we see, especially amongst the Sikhs, this pushback. So how does this square? The fact that the Prime Minister himself feels so emotionally close to the Punjabi community, to the Sikh religion, and yet there is a lot of antipathy and a very strong pushback.
Rahul, look, what Sanjay ji was saying just now, that since we were the younger brother in the alliance, and that alliance was not purely for political reasons, it was also for ensuring the message of Sabka Saath and Samajik Sohar between the Hindu-Sikh community. And therefore, we sacrificed a lot of our space and a lot of the other things also while we were in that alliance. For the first time now, we are finding our feet in Punjab, not just in urban areas, but also in the rural pockets. And therefore, this vote is a vote of expansion. It is a vote of credibility that will keep increasing over the few period of years. And look at the outreach that Prime Minister Modi has done towards the Sikh community. It is not a political outreach, it's an emotional outreach, whether it is celebrating the Prakash Parbs of the great gurus of the Sikh community, whether it is celebrating Veer Balas Divas, or whether it is reaching out to various sections, whether it is the FCRA clearance on Harminder Sahib, Langars that we are making GST free. So I think there's a concerted effort. Not everything is done only for political purpose. Some things are beyond politics. For Rashtra-Niti, we have done a lot of things, and I think that is also being reflected because Punjabis are very patriotic people. They are ready to sacrifice their lives for the nation. They have contributed so much to the armed forces, and I think you'll see, because the kind of mismanagement Aam Aadmi Party is doing. Look at the Nasha Mafia, look at the kind of corruption that is taking place. I'm not saying this. Mr. Sidhu is saying about the corruption. And also the alliance between Congress and
here in
AAP,
Punjab, Amitabh Tiwari, is if they fight separately, this calculation, and you're seeing the India numbers projected by C voter to zoom up in terms of vote share very substantially, all that is based on the assumption that they fight together. If they don't fight together, and if this is the base where Akalis are at 27% vote share, up 20 from the last time, Congress is at 38% vote share, down 2 from the last time, up at 27, up 20, Congress at 38, down 2, Akalis at 14, down 14. How could Punjab read in the absence of this alliance?
See, Punjab is the hotbed of anti-center politics. So even if AAP and Congress do not form an alliance, and unless the Akali Dal forms an alliance with the BJP, these numbers could still hold. So unless the Akali Dal ties up with the BJP, I don't see a substantial difference in the numbers, because the politics itself there is anti-center. Hindu being the majority in the rest of the country, but being a minority there complicates the political dynamics there.
And you know, it's interesting to look at this, because if we turn to the next state, because I think these two states reflect just how India's map is so complex. Just turn to Delhi, not too far away from Punjab, where again the Congress and the AAP are trying to tie up. Just look at how the numbers stack up in Delhi. 7 seats on offer, but the national capital is often a barometer of what tends to happen across North India. Take a look at vote share. As per this, in Delhi, even with the Congress-AAP alliance, you have 57% vote share going to the BJP and 40% to the India alliance of the Congress and AAP together, others 3. How does this then translate into seats? 7 seats in Punjab, in Delhi, all 7 went last time, remember, to the BJP. All 7 will go back to the BJP as per this poll. So that takes off from what Amitabh Tiwari just said. Punjab is almost sui generis, Rahul Verma. There, if the Congress and AAP tie up, they do very well. They tie up in Delhi, where the AAP is in power again, and yet it's a clean sweep for the BJP. Does this reflect urban mindsets and Delhi mindsets versus the anti-center mindset, as Amitabh put it about Punjab?
Yes, a little bit, Rajdeep. That Punjab, the demographic composition is different. It has always had an uneasy relationship with the center, even when Congress party was in power in 1970s and 80s. But you have to also understand that this alliance in both Delhi and Punjab is not easy. Because in Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party feels that they can gain these seats even without the Congress. So you've seen Chief Minister of Punjab making statements that we don't need to have an alliance. And in Delhi, even if they come together, they will not be able to make any dent.
No, but why not? Why, you know,
the reason is that Congress
explain why the Aam Aadmi Party in 2 consecutive elections has swept Delhi, but the BJP has swept Delhi in Lok Sabha.
So BJP continues to hold 40% vote share in Delhi, no matter which election is happening. Congress gets 25% when Lok Sabha happens, but when Vidhan Sabha happens or MCD happens, Congress comes down below 10%. So that entire Congress vote, which is in Lok Sabha with them, actually shifts with the BJP. So AAP continues to be around 45 to 50% in assembly elections. But in Vidhan Sabha, BJP gains.
No, but my view is it's the Modi factor. You know, what seems to be is that the Lok Sabha elections, you look at Narendra Modi. When you're fighting a state election, you look at Arvind Kejriwal. That's happened 2 elections in a row. And it seems, as per your numbers, it's going to happen again.
It's a split vote, Rajdeep, and it's happening across India, across all the states, honestly speaking. Each and every state, if you look into the vote share of the last assembly and the last Lok Sabha in together, you will see somewhere between 10 to 25% of jump in favor of the BJP whenever the Lok Sabha elections are there. However, in case of Punjab, I must mention this because it's an important and critical point to add. In the last 10 years, in our daily tracker, there are only 3 states where Rahul Gandhi as an individual leader has scored over in popularity over Narendra Modi. 3 states all across India. One is Punjab, one is Tamil Nadu, and one is Kerala. And they have been like that. But one critical thing is, 10 years back, the gap between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi was so huge in all these three states that it was a one-way traffic of sort. But over the 10 years, this gap is reducing and reducing and reducing, and it used to be in double digits. Right now, it is in single digits.
But you know, the split vote, I think, Rahul, is going to become more and more important. Voters seeing Lok Sabha very different to Vidhan Sabha. And Salman shows that's your big problem in a way. In Delhi itself, in the heart of the national capital, even if you tie up with AAP, it's the BJP that sweeps the election. That suggests to me that that voter is giving a huge bump to the BJP the moment it's a Lok Sabha election and Mr. Modi is on the ticket.
No, I look at it a little differently. What I'm seeing is, if this data is correct, and I have no way of knowing whether this is or this is not, we'll find out during the elections. But the Congress vote share is coming up in Delhi because people see, many people remember the governance that Congress has delivered to this country. And that is why I think you see the vote share coming up when it comes to national level politics. Why that doesn't happen at the state level elections?
I don't know what you're saying, Salman Bhai. From 23, it's gone up to 25. That's up 2 up. From 18 is down to 15. That's down 3. BJP was at 57. It's at 57. So you're clutching at straws, really.
Rahul, I was talking about the comparison with assembly elections. Somebody said that, during assembly elections, the vote share goes down, and during parliamentary elections, it has come up. So clearly, people do remember that the UP at times are very good, and why should they not? I mean, the per capita income of this country...
No, 1 minute, sir. You're still 32% behind the BJP. Rashid Kidwai, this is the problem the Congress is facing. When it comes to a Lok Sabha election, Mr. Modi is on the ticket. It appears that the Congress is not preferred to the BJP. We've seen that. Direct BJP-Congress fights, the Congress loses out. Now, even in an alliance with AAP, they may lose out in Delhi.
Yeah, but Rajdeep, Delhi's story is very simple. It is due to Muslim vote that swings. In assembly election, Muslim vote tends to favor Arvind Kejriwal's party, and in Lok Sabha election, it favors the Congress. So that is why there is a kind of mismatch. And when we talk about vote share, we must look at the each and every constituency profile, and that's where it matters. So even if some parties maybe 40% plus, another party is 57%, in 7 Lok Sabha seats, the results may be slightly different. So vote share.
So you make an important point. In a seat like, say, Chandni Chowk or in East Delhi,
absolutely,
where the minorities are in big numbers, Rashid Kidwai's argument is, and that's where we can go across Sanjay Kumar, that as far as the state is concerned, it may still be 57 versus 25 and 13, but in that concentrated pocket, it may help this alliance, if it comes together, put a tighter fight in 2 seats, at least East Delhi and Chandni Chowk.
This is a possibility, Rahul. I don't rule out this possibility. But if we are looking at on one side 57 and on the other side it is, say, in the 40s, 42, 45, 46, this is huge gap, makes it impossible that there are chances of close contest or a reversal in a couple of constituencies.
The real story is the BJP, which gets about 38 to 40% in Vidhan Sabha, goes up to 57 in Lok Sabha.
Vidhan Sabha ki baat hi nahi kar rahe.
No, that's the story. No, but that's the story. Modi,
that's the story for Vidhan Sabha election, not for a Lok Sabha election.
Sir, the point is the Modi factor, Rahul, is giving the BJP an 18 to 20% jump. That's the story. From 37-38%, where it loses to the Aam Aadmi Party, which gets over 50%. So the Aam Aadmi Party is clearly seen as a Delhi regional party, and the BJP in a Lok Sabha election takes it. Whatever the minority vote may get consolidated, but the majority vote in Delhi is going firmly towards the BJP for the Lok Sabha. 6 months later, have a Vidhan Sabha election, and the situation at least twice before has been very different.
True. This time around, we don't know.
So I think that's
Rahul,
the significance.
I wanted to make a quick point. Yes.
2 things. One, the minority factor will come into play only assembly elections, where the assembly constituencies are smaller, and then you have enough number which can swing vote. Even in Chandni Chowk, you don't have 50% Muslim population, which can suddenly turn the seat.
And besides, after delimitation in 2008, the entire composition of these seats have changed. Actually, in Delhi, there is not even a single Lok Sabha seat now which can say that, okay, minority votes are the decisive vote here. Yeah. Earlier, the Chandni Chowk, before till 2009 elections probably, that was the probability, but after 2008, delimitation.
No, but in Delhi, if AAP and Congress are on the same ticket, it does make things more exciting.
It does. It does certainly. Absolutely. It makes sense.
Still be 7.
But having said that, it's also the fact, Rajdeep, Sheila Dikshit ji was very clear, very clear that if Congress has to revive, they have to make sure they do not go with Aam Aadmi Party. That's how.
Martin is also clear.
She has been very clear. So
I really think, Rahul, the story which we must stress is this Modi factor. Because this kind of split verdict.
But you're sounding surprised about it.
No, because it's nowhere else in the world. You see, go across the world. A Republican state will vote for the Republicans, both for the Senate usually and for the presidential election. In India, you're seeing it now in 2 consecutive elections. For Delhi, we want Arvind Kejriwal, but upar hamare liye Narendra Modi. And you're going to see it across the country.
Because America doesn't have a Modi, that's why.
I don't think it's simplified as that. I think the Indian voter has very consciously decided who I want for chief minister and who I want for prime minister. And I think it is fascinating because I don't think, as I said, I don't know any other country in the world where it happens.
No, we make too much out of this, and this is my personal opinion. There is only 15 to 20% of vote which swings here and there.
That's a lot.
No, but in only couple of states, except Odisha, except Delhi, do you see a split verdict of this kind?
Yes, Karnataka. You see Karnataka in election after election, you vote for one party in the Vidhan Sabha, you vote for another party in Lok Sabha. I'm willing to have a small wager that there'll be another half a dozen states where this will happen.
Can you bet like now, after Congress winning Karnataka in 2023, Congress is going to do same way as it done in 2019?
But I met a Maharashtra leader yesterday. He said, we have put all our eggs, a Maharashtra Congress leader, we have put all our eggs in Vidhan Sabha. I said, what about Lok Sabha? He said, Lok Sabha madhe Modi aahe. Please understand. That's how they are seeing it. You're the reality on the ground.
2019. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. Let's come to Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan because this is a fascinating political adda, and if we go on, we can be here all evening. So I want to come now to Madhya Pradesh and take you through the numbers. We need to just step on the pedal a bit so we can go. Otherwise, we'll be here all evening. So in Madhya Pradesh, the BJP had 28 seats. Apart from Chhindwara, they won 28 out of 29 seats. This time, they're expected to come down to 27. The India Alliance had 1, expected to go up to 2. This is as far as votes are concerned. 58% last time for the BJP, same this time. And the Congress's vote share, 35 last time, expected to be 38 this time. So basically, you're predicting that one other seat could possibly go away from the BJP and one extra seat could get added to the Congress. I want to quickly go across to Rajasthan as well. From Madhya Pradesh, we'll take vote share first. The NDA had 61% vote share, the BJP had 61% vote share, this time 59. The Congress had 34, this time 35. Let's quickly see how that converts into seats. No surprises here. If that's how big your lead is, 59 plays 35 in a bipolar election, it's a clean sweep. So they're holding on. Yashwant Deshmukh, 2 areas where they shouldn't lose. You know, all these complicated, really detailed, finesse, nuance graphics that we have on the election intelligence dashboard, they're not going to be of any use. If this is how one way the traffic is, then what's the point of all the finessing?
Well, I was just trying to give what Rajdeep was saying. I will just give a term to it. I call it Modi dividend. There is a clear cut, on an average, 15 points Modi dividend as far as the Lok Sabha election is concerned. And the split vote, ironically, I coined that term in 2004 while explaining why Vajpayee's popularity did not translate into votes for the NDA in 2004, because there was a lack of a split vote. And since then, we have seen slowly and steady, the number has been increasing. While Rahul is correct that, in many of the states, it is not very clear cut in that way, because in many states where BJP has been absent, their split vote also to take them across a threshold of 30% wouldn't come. Like, say, for example, Kerala. Kerala Vidhan Sabha election, BJP goes into single digits. In Lok Sabha election, they almost touch 20%.
But can I just make a point, and Raj, I want you to come in on this. When BJP swept states like Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh in 2019, we called it the Balakot bump. That post Balakot, Mr. Modi had taken over the entire space. Now, even without Balakot, the fact is in both these states, the BJP is holding its own, sweeping Rajasthan as per this poll. 27 out of 29 in Madhya Pradesh. In Rajasthan, there was a close contest just a month ago. And yet now, Lok Sabha, it appears it's the BJP all the way. What explains it? So we can even throw Balakot probably out of the equation. Just say There is the Moditva factor.
You know, if you look at it, and if you ask somebody, even in Delhi or in Madhya Pradesh, who would you really want in the center? I mean, that's the question. And that answer is a very logical answer that voters would give. I would gather in Madhya Pradesh as well, who is the Congress projecting for them to vote for?
Even as Prime Minister?
As Prime Minister. Whereas you have Modi, and he has performed well. The state has rewarded him well. And I think here, if you look at it, just to make a larger point, there has to be a saffron wash